Welcome, everybody. Thanks for sitting on the webinar today. My name is Chad Holmes. I'm the Territory Manager for American AVK in the Northeast. I've been with AVK going on about 4 months now and excited to be sitting here presenting some how-to information with you all today. Throughout this webinar today, we will be discussing our Series 34 indicator posts, and more specifically, how to change the target on the posts, and finally, how to accurately calculate berry depth when ordering a Series 34 indicator post. Before Wess Martin went on vacation this week, he produced a very detailed and informative video on how to change the Series 34 target. Let's watch that video now and we can talk about it afterwards.
Hello everybody, I'm Wess Martin with American AVK. I'm a territory manager and we're coming to you from our Minden, Nevada manufacturing facility. And today we're going to do a how-to on the Series 34 post indicator. I'm going to show you guys how to change that target in there if there's a circumstance where the valve has changed from what was originally in the drawings. So as you can see, this is our Series 34 post indicator. And then we have our Series 34 wall indicator. They're identical. And this is actually our new design that has the bonnet on top. So there's 4 bolts on here, so you actually take the target or the guts completely out of this. A lot easier design than our older design. So what we're going to do today is set the target. So the scenario is, and I'll let you guys in on this, AVK ships all of our post indicators set for 6-inch post indicator valves. We did a survey years ago and found that 6-inch valves are the most common post indicator valves. So we've just opted to set all of the post indicators to 6-inch. But today we're out on the job and it turns out we thought we were using a 6-inch post indicator valve, but somebody changed up the plans and now we have a 10-inch post indicator valve. So we're going to show you how to change that right now. So what you want to do is make sure this is in the complete open position or complete closed position. As you can see, we have it set in the open position. Now you don't have to worry about that valve isolation while you're doing this because we're just messing with the upper part of this. What you want to do is take a 10mm or a 3/8 inch Allen wrench and take out these 4 bonnet bolts in the top of this post indicator. Now I will mention these 4 bolts are stainless steel. We have those out. So now all you got to do is just grab around this lip of this bonnet here, lift it up, and real quick I'll show you this is your target. So we're going to change the shut down to the 10-inch setting. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. What you want to do is remove complete assembly, and then we're going to set it on the table or your tailgate. Okay, so we've got it out, we've got it on the table, we got it on your tailgate, and as you can see, here's your target. And a couple things I want to go over. As you can see, the different settings here. So there's 10, there's 12, underneath here's 8, it's set at 6 and can go all the way down to 4-inch. We also have turns that are etched into this target. These turns aren't necessarily for American AVK valves. You're going to go right off of the actual inch size. The turns, we put that in there because this post indicator valve can be installed on anybody's post indicator valve. So we kind of run a general number of turns to close, a 12, a 10, and so on. So also, you'll notice on here in the top, this is etched Series 45. So this, we're going to be doing the settings for a Series 45, an AVK 45. Also, AVK has a Series 145, and then if you need to do that and you're using a Series 145 valve, you're going to flip this around. Okay, never turn this. If you do turn it while you're working on it like this, you can do a quarter turn, but make sure you always return it to where it needs to be, because that's how the settings are for the way that all this target works. But here's the Series 145. You'll see it etched in the top there. These are the settings for a 145, and as you see, our 145 only goes up to 8-inch. So if you need to do a 145, this is the side that you're going to make this adjustment on. But today, our scenario is a 45, our most common one. So what you're going to do here is just super simple. Like I said, you can flip it on its side here. You'll take a flathead, and what you want to do is just loosen these bolts and back this nut up till it's almost off. You don't have to take this completely apart. That way you're not losing parts either. Okay, so we got that loose. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the 10-inch, because that's a valve we're putting this on. All you got to do is basically wiggle this down. On the back of these plates, there's a small notch that fits in that groove. So what you're going to do is line this up with that 10-inch groove, and then just tighten this back up. This is how simple this is, guys. And as you can see, before I tighten this all the way down, you can see the side. You can actually visually see that there's grooves there, so you can see that you're in there. Plus, you'll see that this plate is flush against the target. So now what you'll do is just tighten this up a little bit. You don't have to get it super tight. And basically, you just have to hold those nuts and just tighten it with your flathead, and it's good and secure. So there we are. We're set up now for a 10-inch Series 45. So now this will be in the correct position when you open and close it to indicate in the window whether it's opened or closed. So while we have this out, I want to mention what happens if you have this set up. This is set up for an open left valve right now. Now what happens if you happen to have an open right valve? All you have to do is take the open and move it where the shut is, and vice versa, the shut where the open is. So on an open right, your shut's going to be at the top, and your open is going to be the adjustment side, no matter what size valve it is. So just always remember that. Open right, shut on top. Open left, open on top. Okay, now we're good to go. That's all there is to it. We're going to drop it back down in the post indicator and tighten it all down. Okay, so here we go. You're going to drop it into the lower stem, and this goes into the lower stem. And what I like to tell people to do, this is kind of awkward, set it down here on the edge, and then there's these two grooves in the target. And then there's guides down in the casting. Then what I like to do is just set it down there so you don't pinch your fingers. And there it is. Now we're going to put the bonnet bolts back in. Just tighten these down. Good to go. So Now I'm going to turn it this way to close it, and you'll see the indicator start to move. Of course, this takes a lot of turns because we went from a 6-inch to a 10-inch. So, as you know, the turns operation, the bigger the valve you go. But you want to make sure you test this out, and once you get this shut, you want to know that your valve's shut when this is indicating shut, and vice versa on the open. So once you've got it all set, which you'll of course set this to open, you'll put your off wrench back on here. It fits in there. Put your padlock on there. Locked up, and you're good to go, and that's how you change the target on a Series 34.
Open it up for some questions here. I'd like to go over a few main takeaways from this video. One is keeping the target positioned in the same manner it was when you removed it from the lower stem in the bonnet. This alignment is very important to the function of the indicator post. It's easy to let parts move and twist around while working on these, and we want to be sure that's not out of alignment. Also note that these posts can be used with both Series 45 and Series 145 AVK gate valves. Each side is cast to indicate which valve you are using. Adjust the side of the target in accordance with what valve you have in the ground. Lastly, be extra cautious of your open direction. Be sure you have the correct target on top and bottom of your target. Again, that's crucial to the accuracy and function of the indicator posts. So let's talk about how to calculate bury depth. This is one of the first things I had to learn when joining the American AVK team, and I'm going to show you the easiest way of calculating this. First thing we want to do is look at the Series 34 maintenance manual. This has all the parts and measurements of the Series 34 indicator post and shows how to calculate bury depth. You'll need to know two very important pieces of information. One is what size valve you have in the ground or will be using with your indicator post, and also how deep the bottom of your waterline pipe will be from ground level. The Series 34 comes in two different styles, the telescopic post and the wall post. Let's talk about the wall post first. It's the easiest. The Series 34 wall post comes in two different lengths, the 30-inch and the 50-inch. You can order which one fits your projects in accordance with the building's wall thickness and then cut the length you need. Easy and simple. Looking once again at the operations manual, you'll see there's a page with a chart and a diagram which helps you calculate the post size you need to order for the telescopic post. This is where you will need to provide those two measurements we previously touched on, valve size and depth from ground to bottom of pipe. Here's a closer look at a few of these pages. This page provides the complete breakdown of components on the Series 34. These spec sheets are all available on the American AVK website, or your territory manager can assist you with obtaining these as well. If we look closer, there's also a diagram showing where the bury depth line is marked on the post and to measure from the bury depth to the bottom of the pipe going into the gate valve. Let's look even closer at this table now. This chart provides an easy way to calculate the post you need. This essentially does the math for you. On the left side of the table is the gate valve size, and along the top is the size of post you will need depending on the bury depth you measure. So let's walk through an example. If I have a 4-inch valve and I measure from the ground, or where the bury line would be on your post, to the bottom of the pipe, and I measure 82 inches, what post should I order? If you know, go ahead and type your answers in the chat. If not, don't worry about it. We're going to go over it here in a second when I give everybody an opportunity to answer. It is post C. We know that because we know we're dealing with a 4-inch gate valve. So if we look at our valve size column on the far left of our chart here, we go down to 4 inches, and we know that we're going down 82 inches. We'll scan across the chart To find the range of numbers in which 82 inches falls in between, we know it falls between 77 inches and 100 inches. Looking up, we know that that's post C, or 02. Let's do one more example before I move on. I have a 6-inch valve, and I measure 71 inches to bottom of pipe. Which post should I order? It's B. We know that we are dealing with a 6-inch valve. Again, going back to our far left column under the valve size header, and we go to 6 inches. We scan over, and we know that our buried depth is 71 inches. 71 inches falls between 60 and 83 inches, and looking up, it's post B, or 01. AmericanAVK.com provides data sheets, brochures, maintenance and installation videos, manuals for all AVK products, contact information, AVK certifications, and more. Here's my contact information. Please don't hesitate to contact me or your territory manager for any information further on the Series 34 indicator post or any other AVK products.